What's going on, everybody? As always, thank you for tuning in. Today I want to talk to you about something that every sales professional needs to hear, especially if you're a young sales professional, if you're just starting out your career. This is something that I find everybody struggles with, and it's just a reality of being in sales, the reality of being in business. And I can tell you from all my own experiences that this is the number one thing above all else that needs to be in place. If you want to succeed in sales, if you want to succeed in business, you can't do it without this thing. It's the number one thing above all else. And just before I get into it, as always, make sure to smash that like button, comment your thoughts below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And on that note, let's get right into it. So here's what you need to know above all else if you want to be successful in sales or successful in business in general, and that is frequency and high volume and high levels of action. Above everything else that you do, above the skills that you need to acquire, above that fact that you need to invest in yourself, above having mentors and everything else that comes along with succeeding in sales, succeeding in business, and of course succeeding in life. Above all of that is having high levels of action, high levels of activity, high levels of frequency, volume. So a lot of sales professionals that I work with will come to me with different problems or challenges, and oftentimes if we dig deeper and peel the layers, what we'll find is they're just not taking enough action. They're not speaking to enough people. Their pipeline isn't full enough, and therefore they're stuck and hyper focused on these small issues or challenges or problems, and they're blowing it out of proportion, when in reality, if you have that small of a problem, or if your problems are that minuscule and just specific, you're probably not getting in front of enough people. You're probably not speaking to enough of the right type of prospects for your services, for your products. And it's the same thing for entrepreneurs that I work with, small business owners that I work with. It's often the number one thing that's overlooked, but I believe it's the most important thing to focus on above all else. Because it's so obvious, a lot of times people don't give it the attention or credit that it deserves. But the reality is, above all else, you need to take extremely high levels of action. Your activity levels need to be extremely high. The volume, the frequency, the number of people you're in front of, the number of work that you put in. You are always going to get out what you put in. So your output needs to be extremely high in order to get the input that you're looking for. And that's just a rule in life. My first mentor, Jim Rohn, would always say, you reap what you sow. And he shared this beautiful story of a farmer, and it was hand in hand with prospecting and lead generation and what we go through in sales and in business. And the reality is, the farmer has to keep on sowing the seed despite disappointments. Jim Rohn always used to say, learn to discipline your disappointments. That's a beautiful way to put it, meaning what I always refer to as 1% on the problem, 99% on the solution. So again, above all else, as a sales professional, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you have to realize high levels of activity, high levels of action, frequency, volume. That's what you need to focus on. That needs to be in place before anything else. Everything else follows that. So as always, I hope that was extremely valuable for you, and my hope for you is that you take this advice and put it into action. That's the only way you're going to see results, and you're going to change the trajectory of your life, by putting what we discuss here into action and feeling it for yourself. Knowing things in theory is one thing, but understanding them in application is a whole different deal. So I want you to actually apply what we discuss here. And if this was valuable to you, as always, smash that like button, comment your thoughts below, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more content coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one.